An announcement was made Monday afternoon by the Ministry of Public Safety and BC Association of Aboriginal Friendship Centres, stating they will develop and administer the Path Forward Community Fund. The fund is a top priority identified by the Indigenous communities who are located in the crime hotspots. BCAAFC's Executive Director Lindsay Varley says safety planning and capacity building is at the top of her list for these hotspots that are dispersed throughout BC.
We're applying an equitable approach to this funding, which means where we know where there are hotspots for violence against Indigenous women and girls, we will be prioritizing funding to those areas.
The BCAAFC is hoping to see more empowerment among Indigenous communities by standing up to violence and seeking out more safety resources.
So we're going to stand together and link arms with all Indigenous women and try to find ways to support ourselves and strengthen ourselves and not accept any more violence in our communities. So we're hoping to really empower Indigenous women and particularly young girls, empowering young girls so that they've got a good future to look forward to.
The BCAAFC will manage the $5.4 million fund to help Indigenous communities and organizations expand safety planning capacity. For Indigenous advocate Gladys Raddick, she's hoping to see a new shelter for women in the area.
Particularly here in Terrace, we need our own Indigenous shelter for women and girls, for Indigenous women and girls. It's got to be run by First Nations people.
Raddick has a few other goals in place, one of which is for the area to receive more second stage housing.
There's a few things that, with this funding that can be utilized, and that's for number one, like I said, we need that shelter. And the thing is second stage housing. Because there's a lot of women and girls that won't get their kids back because they don't have a big enough space. There's families that are torn apart because they simply have no housing.
Raddick lost her niece, Tamara Chipman, along the Highway of Tears in 2005. And after years of determination and strength to honor her niece and other missing Indigenous women, she's relieved the community's concerns have been heard. But she says there is still more work to be done.
If we want this nation to heal, everybody has to work together. It's not us and them anymore. These are human lives that we're talking about.
For CFTK-TV News, I'm Hannah Schmidt in Terrace.